She was the perfect neighbor. Always the first with a casserole in a crisis, the organizer of the block party, the shoulder to cry on. Her social media was a curated gallery of family bliss and community spirit. Everyone loved her. And yet, behind closed doors, a different reality took shape. A reality of calculated coldness, of emotional sabotage so subtle it left no bruises, only a creeping sense of doubt in those closest to her. Her husband, once confident and vibrant, became a shell, questioning his own sanity. Her children walked on eggshells, masters of appeasement. Her friends found themselves inexplicably cut off from their own social circles, always somehow through her. This isn't a story of a monster you can spot in a dark alley. This is the story of the female psychopath, and why our society is perfectly primed to miss her every single time. We are conditioned to see evil in a specific shape. In film and news headlines, in our collective nightmares, the psychopath is almost always a man. The charismatic serial killer, the ruthless corporate raider, the violent criminal. This stereotype isn't just a pop culture trope, it's rooted in diagnostic data. Men are diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, the clinical cousin of psychopathy, at a rate 3 to 5 times higher than women. The tools we use to measure psychopathy, like the Hare Psychopathy checklist, were developed primarily by studying male prison populations. They emphasize traits like physical aggression, a parasitic lifestyle, and criminal versatility. So we built a profile based on only half the picture. But what if the blueprint was wrong, or at least incomplete? Emerging research suggests psychopathy manifests differently across genders. The core is the same: a profound lack of empathy, a grandiose sense of self-worth, and a manipulative, callous nature. But the expression is where the genders diverge. While the male psychopath might conquer through intimidation and overt force, the female psychopath specializes in a different kind of warfare. Hers is a campaign of social and relational aggression. Her weapons are not fists or weapons, but words, social status, secrets, and emotional terrorism. She is the puppet master, not the brute. And because her methods are covert, they are far more likely to fly under the radar of society, of the law, and of our own instincts. So what are the key traits of female psychopathy? The first and most devastating is a predatory form of empathy. She doesn't lack the ability to understand your emotions. She lacks the compassion that should accompany it. Instead, she uses that understanding as a map to your insecurities, your deepest fears, your secret desires. She collects this information not to connect, but to control. This is not a failure of perception, it's a perversion of it. Her charm is not warm, it is tactical. It is deployed with precision to disarm, to ingratiate, and to secure loyalty she has no intention of reciprocating. Secondly, her aggression is almost entirely relational. While a male psychopath might respond to a threat with physical violence, a female psychopath will orchestrate a social annihilation. She will launch a smear campaign, poison your other relationships with carefully planted lies, or orchestrate your exclusion from a group. The goal is the same: dominance and destruction. But the method leaves no forensic evidence. It leaves only a wrecked reputation and a profound sense of isolation in the victim. This is aggression designed for a social species, and it is brutally effective. Then there is the presentation. Many female psychopaths fit what researchers call the successful psychopath profile. They are not in prison. They are in the PTA meeting, the corporate boardroom, the family reunion. They are often highly intelligent and use their social manipulation skills to climb ladders. They can present an image of impeccable normalcy, even excellence. They are the CEOs, the influential community figures, the seemingly perfect mothers. Their pathology is masked by achievement and social grace. This veneer of success is their greatest camouflage. Now let's see these traits in action. In friendships, the female psychopath is often the intense friend. She love bombs you, creating an instant, soulmate-level bond. She mirrors your interests, your opinions, your dreams. You feel truly seen for the first time. But this is the setup. Once you are emotionally invested, the dynamic shifts. She begins to undermine you, always disguised as concern. I'm only saying this because I love you, but everyone thinks your laugh is really annoying. She triangulates, creating drama between you and other friends to position herself as the indispensable confidante. She is a master of the backhanded compliment and the guilt trip. The friendship becomes a source of constant anxiety, but you can't quite pinpoint why. You just know you're always apologizing, always trying to earn back the approval of the person who once adored you unconditionally. In the family, her manipulation takes on a more sinister, gaslighting quality. As a mother, she may be relentlessly competitive with her own children, especially daughters. She might sabotage their achievements or weaponize their vulnerabilities. She creates a home environment where love is conditional and transactional. Affection is given or withdrawn as a reward or punishment for compliance. As a partner, she is often the high-conflict spouse. She projects a flawless image to the outside world while systematically eroding her partner's self-esteem behind closed doors. She will deny things she said or did, making her partner question their own memory and reality. The goal is not to win an argument. It is to dismantle the opponent's mind. In the workplace, she is the ultimate corporate politician. She takes credit for others' work with a smile. She forms strategic alliances not based on loyalty, but on utility. She is adept at managing up, charming superiors, while simultaneously undermining peers and subordinates. She might launch covert campaigns to get a rival fired, often presenting herself as a reluctant messenger of concerns others supposedly have. She thrives in environments with complex social hierarchies and ambiguous power structures. Her lack of empathy is not a weakness here. It is a strategic asset. She makes decisions based on gain, not guilt. Why are these tactics so effective and so overlooked? The answer lies in our own biases. We have a cultural script for male bad behavior. We are on guard to some degree for overt aggression, for blatant narcissism in men. But we have a different script for women. We expect nurturance, empathy, communal focus. When a woman displays the core traits of psychopathy, we explain them away. We call her dramatic, a queen bee, high-strung, a bit of a diva. We use gendered euphemisms that soften the pathology. Her relational aggression is dismissed as catty or gossipy, not recognized as the predatory behavior it is. Her social manipulation is seen as mere social savvy. Her coldness is rationalized as her being strong or independent. Our stereotypes about gender blind us to the reality of the disorder. Furthermore, her victims are often silenced by shame and confusion. If your abuser is a man who hits you, the path to recognition, while difficult, is clearer. But if your abuser is a woman who systematically isolates you and makes you doubt your own perceptions, how do you explain that? It sounds like paranoia. It sounds like you're the problem. The very subtlety of the abuse becomes its greatest protection. The female psychopath often recruits flying monkeys, unwitting allies who believe her victim narrative and help punish her target. This makes the victim's isolation complete. They are not just abused. They are surrounded by a chorus of voices telling them the abuse isn't real. So what do we do with this knowledge? The goal is not to instill paranoia, to have you looking sideways at every charismatic woman in your life. Most people, men and women, are not psychopaths. The goal is awareness. It is to trust your gut when something feels profoundly off in a relationship, even if you can't articulate why. It is to recognize that the absence of empathy is the red flag, regardless of the gender of the person showing it. Pay less attention to the charming performance and more attention to the aftermath. Look at the wreckage they leave in the lives of those closest to them. Look for the patterns of lies, the broken friendships, the estranged family members, the colleagues who suddenly leave their jobs. The female psychopath challenges our deepest assumptions about human nature and gender. She proves that darkness does not have a single face. It can wear the face of a friend, a lover, a mother. It can speak in whispers, not shouts. It can destroy you from the inside out, leaving the world convinced of its own innocence. By understanding her methods, we are not giving in to fear. We are arming ourselves with clarity. We are learning to see the invisible threads of manipulation, not so we can live in suspicion, but so we can truly see the genuine connections, the real empathy, and the authentic kindness that make life worth living. The greatest defense against a hidden predator is not a fortress, but a spotlight. Shine it on behavior, not on stereotypes. And trust the cold feeling in your spine when the performance is perfect, but the humanity behind it is utterly, chillingly absent.